What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another breakdown video. Today we're going to be watching 100 Thieves versus NRG elimination game, Toronto Masters on the line. Now, I really did think that NRG was going to be able to make a deep run in this playoff. Mata and FNS, both Toronto natives. I thought that I would see like a different fire coming out of them, and I know how bad they actually wanted it. And I definitely saw that in the Leviathan game when they got that 2-0 against them, specifically from Mata. He was popping off, he was just having insane rounds, he was not giving up. And I especially feel bad for them and the team for, falling short. But like I talked about in previous videos, they haven't had as much time as some of these other teams have with the changes that they've made and, the kind of like the restarting over and over and over again situation. So I do think that they're going to have a pretty major bounce back in this next upcoming post Masters Toronto. To make an actual, deep run. I think they have the capability to do so. But regarding today, the main thing that we're going over here is how 100 Thieves, just like 4-1-y style on this map, how hard it is to deal with. You're either running into a chamber who is playing in a random position. It could be dish, it could be sand, it could be out in the open, it could be bottom side, it could be A main. We're talking about like 5 positions, sometimes even like 6, like depending on like the bomb site or where you're going. So you have to have good utility, you have to have good spacing, you have to be aware of where he is and what he's doing. Is he rifling, is he opping, whatever it is. And then if you don't go into that, you're going into 4 people of 100 Thieves. So you're getting overwhelmed, you're probably losing the util trade because they're continuing to spam and spam and spam and spam. 100 Thieves also did a really good job of flanking. In terms of composition difference, we're really only seeing the chamber versus the Cypher, and the Neon versus the Raze. I do think that Neon beats the Raze. I think a lot of the utility that Raze uses and the power that she has kind of gets passed out by Neon. And then Cypher, I think, will give you a lot more information, and you'll be able to control the game a little harder than you can with Chamber. But again, the trust that they put in him is just pretty insane to see. So, getting into the pistol round here, we are going to see one of these 4-1s, and you're going to see kind of like how it plays out. Something that I found interesting in this round specifically was Som's buy. He's on a Ghost and 3 smokes. No molly, no stim, nothing like that for like the clutch. Fracture known to be like a really, really big post plant map. I feel like if a part of their plan was to identify where the 4-1 was or manipulate rotates, I definitely think that he probably should have bought a molly here, and if they got the bomb down, the round is probably over. Drill, missiles, molly, potentially a nade coming back online. Not to consider anyone getting any kills throughout any of it, but again, maybe just a strat that they have or a comfort thing that he does. Buying a ghost is a good thing. Full arcade control, EU now spotting, saying they're coming up B main here. But there's no smokes. So now they know they're kind of getting taken for a loop here. They're going to be like, wait, hold on. They didn't smoke anything. Still going to stay packed together because Cryo sees nothing. He's got a good line here. He does have no trip, but he did start dish, and they cleared all of arcades. So they know that no one can be there. That's why he has so much security. Proactivity from 100 Thieves. When that smoke drops, they're walk re-clearing that smoke. Cryo's going to call the noise. And watch 100 Thieves speed up on that flank there. Cryo unable to convert. Good job getting out of there. Now looking to kill the overextension. Doesn't see anything. So now watch Cryo's position. I'm going to give him his flowers here because, to be honest, a lot of people do make this mistake. Cryo is the weak side. The 4-pack is the strong side. The strong side is going to play before the weak side plays. If the weak side dies, the T's, the attackers, will infest that area, and you will lose control, and you will lose the round. So he actually does a good job running away and not being, chamber-brained and just trying to, fight to the death the entire time. So, good on Cryo. Still a 5v5 situation. Your bomb needs to go down. Ethan's trying to plant for a spawn. It looks like that's kind of the play that's going to be made here. Mata's up on the rafter. Drops down with Som. They're getting ready to run into spawn here. Boostio's throwing some kit. Doesn't really see anything. Cryo does die on the weak side. And again, NRG can back all the way up here, but they're in a 5v3 now, trying to fight together. Xander just slowly knocking them down. Boostio gets a right click, now a 2v2. The streamers, here we go. Planted for spawn, no molly, like I said. FNS able to make a play here. Not sure what happens. Wanders out into the open and dies before the tap even comes through. Xander now holding a 1 HP Som, angles out and gets his 4K, and that's going to be a huge momentum swing for a player like Xander. who constantly, time and time again, has not gotten to play the game properly on this team, and he is going to show them today that he is not here to mess around. After failing to convert the bonus, 100 Thieves still have their operator online. They saved it. NRG is going to do a little default trying to find the operator. Watch how low and slow this round gets. Watch how much respect they show towards 100 Thieves, making sure that they don't get caught out. They know the op is online. They don't want to peek it dry. They don't want to give them the first blood. And they know that there is a pack roaming around the map somewhere, just looking for a fight, looking to get proactive. So they're constantly kind of sitting and waiting for that push, making sure nobody goes dry, trying to use an abundant amount of utility to push people off of lines. Xander does a great job of breaking that drone. Mata is going to get that orb, and Cryo isn't even going to angle out. He's going to be sitting this entire time. This level of discipline from Cryo, again, really impressive that he's able to pull this off and not force himself into the game. FNS is now sitting underground in a pivotal position, okay? He's sitting here and he's going to listen. Off of this reclear, he's going to sit here and he's going to listen if there are any rotates going that way. If he hears them, he's probably going to call them back. Or maybe they're going to speed up because they think it's weak. If he doesn't hear them, they might continue into A main. Obviously depends on like the call, but that's what he's looking for there. So pushing out, counter util comes in. Look at Asuna battle through all of this counter util, still getting the first blood onto Mata with the stinger. Really good decision there from Asuna to go 1 for 1. He is not as valuable as Mata is in that situation. Mata is 1 off of his ultimate with a Vandal. Asuna has a stinger. It's a really good situation to take him down. So as you can see, Cryo gets that first kill with his operator literally at 25 seconds. He sat dice for over a minute of time this entire round. And again, the discipline, it's impressive. Xander being able to spot and break all the utility coming in, again, impressive. And this is the type of stuff that wins you rounds, and these rounds win you games. FNS less than a 1v4. Looking for something here. Here's the little rivalry. Unable to convert. Boosty with a Guardian ends up sitting him down, and obviously there's a little flavor there as well. NRG doing a really good job on attack so far. They've actually gotten a timeout out of 100 Thieves, and it looks like a little adjustment is coming in or some sort of change. What I didn't understand from NRG is why they ended up making a change as well. The slow pace where they were kind of packed up as 5 and not getting pushed was working really well. And once their numbers got thinner, now the flanks have started to get value that we talked about with this 4-1ing, this pushing through. So we're going to see it here where NRG are obviously dry running an ult strat. They did this with a rocket a couple rounds ago through B main. And the reason that I like this is because it was an actual real tempo change, and it happened in the matter of about 10 seconds. They weren't slowed down. They didn't kind of hesitate. They just continued to go. They got step 1 of the tree room, they roomba'd into sight, and they went. It was very quick, it was good, there was no kind of punish. But again, when you show your numbers here, and you sit and you wait and you take your time, look at 100 Thieves on the A main side, just slowly herding you and pushing you into a corner. I'm not sure how they don't hear Asuna here jumping around, that's just land sound, I guess. But now the set play comes in at around 20-25 seconds of time. The weak side's been crunched. FNS and Som only good for 1 in that situation. And now, using that Armageddon, they don't even have control of the bomb site. The call, probably based on the antis, is going to be to move back here and try to go A. Seems that 100 Thieves just stay on the same side. They don't really have a container or a flanker that much. They're always on the same side of the map. So they have that in the antis that, you know, they're going to pack up and they're not going to break off. So here they are kind of running away. Austin's got a little bit of a soul read here. He's like, you know what, I'm just going to use my fuel and get all the way over here. And I'm just going to hold dish, and I'm going to listen A main. He's actually going to open the door and peek.
I don't think 100 Thieves heard the door.
3 versus 1 situation on the bomb site here. Mata's going to use the rocket again. He's been cycling through it a lot, getting a lot of kills and orbs. Doesn't really go as deep with it. Ends up missing it onto Xander there. Asuna good for 1. Trying to slide, killing the planner. A little too wide there. Shaking the mouse. 2v3 situation now. Mata Brock. Running out of space. Mata checking the flank. Sees nothing. Brock now position revealed. 100 Thieves are fully aware. Waiting on rechargeables. Gonna combo. Boostio gets caught. EU with a trade. 1v2 situation here. Mata forced out to the open. EU falls. Xander with a great trade. And again, Xander just showing up round after round after round when this team needs him. He's 10-4 right now. It's going to get a lot scarier than that. Round after round, 100 Thieves just shoving you with these set plays, 4-1 time and time again. These 3-2 splits for NRG not working, not enough counter utility. Everybody is on fire, burning, kill feed of assists. 4v2 situation now. Ethan looking to get someone overextending. Watch the Boostio jump, drags the crosshair away. 1-for-1 trade. CryoZ's barely getting any action. And an 8-4 defensive side for 100 Thieves. That pistol conversion when they were down 3v5 was huge. If they did not get that, they would not be in this situation. And I think that NRG is regretting the way that they played it. NRG deny the 100 Thieves bonus again. They're still alive here. Cryo in his textbook spot here of A main, just sitting, waiting for a push. Off of that initiator utility, 100 Thieves is going to aggressively take that dish space, trying to go tit for tat there. Looks like they're getting ready to exec. Mata's going to counter with a rocket. Ethan, great first blood onto Asuna, another initiator who's just killing on a mid-slide. Mata's going to do a huge amount of damage with that rocket there, and he's going to make a really aggressive play here and walk clear this smoke. He's going to kill Cryo, but not another. This might be a little bit of play into the antis where Cryo is always by himself or something like that. He didn't expect Xander. With that kill and the space secured, 100 Thieves are going to come back to Xander because that's the one place that is kind of safe on the map right now. They don't know Dish anymore. They don't know anything about B. And now this mid-round situation is really where it gets questionable for NRG for me. Something called dead comms, okay, are very, very important in this game at this level. You are able to tab through all of these POVs and kind of describe what's going on. What's the optimal play? Get your teammates on the same page, get them working together. What do we have? What do we don't? Are we gambling for something? Are we taking a risk? Do we need to push something? You know, what's the situation? So, in this 3v3, a lot of the time you're going to see the Sentinel play by himself. Sometimes he's even going to leave the site and try to use his utility as almost like a fourth teammate, making it like a 4v3 in that situation, where at the least it will get information for you and you'll not be able to babysit that bomb site. But FNS is over there. So I don't understand when he's sitting on this bomb site, he should be saying that they should be playing together and, you know, getting ready to maybe, I don't know, fight a choke, something along the lines of that, right? Some doesn't have any smokes left, so there could be a little contact setup, some sort of peek off me setup, you know, 1-2 crossfire, whatever it is. He's got to be in a position where he either sets his teammates up better or someone who is dead like Ethan or Mata sets them up better, because they're going to get proactive on this A site when they don't need to whatsoever. We have double info trips up with a camera. Do we know that it's A right now? Not 100%, but it is definitely a really high odd that it's going to be A right now. So with the concept of potentially getting pinched from Dish and A main, I guess I kind of understand them doubling up, trying to be proactive and pushing, but at the end of the day, we have the recharge online with the salvos. We do have like a molly in play here. There really isn't a reason to do so in this setting. So being that we're not really on the same page here, we're kind of overextending when there's not really a point to. 100 Thieves kind of need to make the play in this situation, and NRG forced themselves into it. FNS left in a 1v2. No wall online, no utility use, looking for an overextension. He's not going to find anything. He was going to burn the drone early. Doesn't do much. Kind of scared that he could be timing the smoke. He's jiggling both sides. Spots EU. Salvos go out. Xander holding the cross. That's his 40th kill of the map or something like that. It's over. Getting into Haven, I am really happy to see NRG's composition change. No more Yoru Jet Sova with no stopping power whatsoever. You know, they're playing into the Teo Breach. It's extremely strong. Mata opting for the Jet over the Neon. Definitely probably a preference thing. He pops off all the time when he plays Jet on this map. I think he has a really good approach to it. 100 Thieves sticking to the ISO Neon double duelist. They're going to play, it seems like, into their own antis here, and they're going to use this shield a lot of the time to fake. They're actually not going to hit with the shield that much. And to be honest, when we watch this pistol round and how kind of like uncomfortable it feels, I instantly thought NRG was going to sweep them on this map and we were going to go to Icebox map 3. So Heaven Smoke going through, Neon running out long, Cryo running up short with a shield, not ready for the elevation. Mata has the line the entire time. They hear noise C, they kind of are calling that it's a fake. Mata's trying to clear short and long at the same time, catches Cryo, and again it just seemed like 100 Thieves couldn't make a decision. Their goal was to fake A and pull these rotates from C, but then they didn't hear anything and they weren't fought at all, so they didn't know if A was strong or weak. So they kind of rewalk that space after they make the C noise. It's back and forth, it's all over the place, you know, there's no following. It's a hard round, and again, when I saw this and I thought that the attack was going to play out that way consistently, this was definitely like a map 3 angle for me. 5v4 situation, they're going to regroup to their inserted player. NRG, full giving C over there, they have an info trip. Som's going to smoke the gap here with Ethan jiggling. Short line and long line covered. Brock has salvos in his hand for contact. Double swing coming through. Mata killing him midair again. Brock's going to play aim labs here. He's got to break a dart. He's got to break a cam. No ammo, nowhere to go. Unaware of Ethan in the corner. Makes a great player on the smoke. Really nice patience shooting the classic there. NRG get a pistol and some momentum in their way. On our bonus here, NRG are going to show that they can get tricky. I really like how FNS played this situation. He shows his Cypher utility towards the C and garage side, and he has the double trips towards A. Mata and Brock's job is to contest layer 1. They're going to try to get utility out. They're going to look for a kill. They're going to look to slow them down. And then when the bomb site hit comes in, they know they can kind of play behind these wires, use a site smoke, and get kills on them. This is really tricky, and I thought it was a really good implementation. You know, if FNS did it or whoever, you know, did, definitely impressive. Caught 100 Thieves off guard, and I can tell you now that when Austin is running into tripwires in random places, he is going to hesitate when he plays, and that's exactly what you want when you play against a duelist. You need to siphon away the duelist's confidence. Now, with the line here, it's a little bit of a miscommunication, a little bit of an error. Garage was denied very hard here by Brock and Ethan. Mata immediately got the line. He immediately pushed through. He thinks he has timing to boost Yod in short. We use the stun and we use the salvos in garage to force them out. This should be a situation where we want to let them in garage. We do not want to scare them away, because when we scare them away from the area, they're going to get proactive and they're going to look for something else, aka going back A, aka going into B, whatever it might be, right? They're hard denying the space. They're going to start looking at other things to accomplish. So unfortunate there that it's a part of the reason why Mata's going to get caught here is because the plan changed, right? It looked like we were kind of gearing towards a C split. Now Xander's routing away. They're routing away from garage. Boostio's probably going to turn around in a second anyway. Mata's going to get caught on this literal instant flank. He's in spawn in like 10 seconds. So definitely like a bonus converting situation here. Messed up. And now 100 Thieves are still alive. So that's the deep line. Looks like 100 Thieves are just going to call again to fake with the shield. They keep 2 people on B for a couple seconds, but that's it. Austin is really running full speed ahead, so again, they got to be careful of this. And these are the trips we're talking about. So that's 1 person in a trip dead. Boostio's going to reactivate it. That's 2 people in trips dead. Ethan in a position to make a play. That's a 3rd person in a trip dead. And it's going to reapply. It's still up. 1v1. FNS versus EU. EU insta-peeking spawn. Clearing graffiti. For whatever reason, clearing is close left. It's got a stinger in this situation. It's very hard. You can't really micro the situation. At the end of the day, it is like a 1v1. He does have a tripwire here. He does end up choosing to clear close left, kind of burning a little time. Doesn't use the camera in the 1v1, which again, you know, you don't want a position reveal, but at the end of the day, it's a hard situation to convert. That start of the round they had with the push through and the garage utility forcing them back was a little bit of a blunder, but they're still alive at the end of the day. And here we go, one last showing of what I mean with the faking of the shield. Starting with that heavy garage and C control here. Gonna pull the rotates. Mata's gonna get set up on the line. Now, compared to last round, you know, look at the position he's in. you know, compared to the last time. So he realized he's a little bit overzealous, you know, probably grilled himself a little bit mentally, like, oh shit, shouldn't have done that. But
well,
he's definitely taking a step back, he's off the gas right now. So 100 Thieves are aware that there's a lot of bodies here, and here comes their mid-round shield fake. Again, playing into their own antis, trying to catch 100 or NRG off guard. That line's been developed. They're going to go back and clear it.
I don't think they would have the patience to have it.
And here it is. Here's the selling of the clear. Shield's going to get popped. Mada's going to hide. Takes out the Glock to try to break it. Doesn't see it. Sees no one else. He should be really hot micing and freaking out right now. No one here. No one here. It's only ISO. Only ISO. I think he's even going to see him leave potentially. Sees put on full retake. Planning in the wide open. Austin is going to die doing it. Tried to get the bomb down for that garage wrap position. No good. Brock. Salvo's on the bomb. Buying that time. 4v4 situation with an op flanking. Really not favorable. Solvault's going to be used. Brock trying to get past it. Falls to Xander. The rewrap comes through. 4v2 now. But Som has something to say. He gets one. Time is ticking. Haven't confirmed Mada's position yet until he activates that trip. He's in a 1v1 versus EU, and Cryo's now wrapping. The tap comes through. Could be diffusing. Som comes out of the smoke, almost on an ace, and EU can't close on Mada. And again, another round where NRG just really shows some fight, and it looks like they're, you know, getting ready to go here. And 100 Thieves shield faking isn't really working. Post 100 Thieves timeout, they're still going to stick to that mid-round fake plan. And going back on my last statement, they are definitely getting what they want out of it. They're getting empty bomb sites and they're manipulating rotates. It's just an argument of value, right? You know, can Cryo run in and kill everybody with a shield? Probably. But can we play like tactically and rotate people around and get an empty bomb site? Definitely. Som and Mada have swapped op for rifle here.
With a stun called in from A, he re-aggroes onto the line.
Probably just some anti-timeout little tech there. Maybe Mada expects that he's going to be avoided, so he passes the op to Som, who might be able to get a free kill somewhere on an exec. And here's our mid-round fake. Two duelists running up aggressively, taking all the space. Almanult to confirm positions. Wall goes up. Vulnerable. Salvos go out. Sight smoke. They're going to get the rotates they want. FNS front B is in a position hearing Cryo run away. Hopefully that was like communicated. Looks like it was because Som is here ready. Might line up another spam here on the plant. Puts EU to half. Definitely could have been tragic. Now, last round, as we remember, when they did that mid-round fake towards A, there was a mid-lurker. So it looks like the adjustment here from 100 Thieves is going to be like, hey, let's make sure that this guy gets cleared out and he doesn't get value again. You know, we don't want that to happen. The problem when they're clearing mid is Cryo is sitting here ADS on an angle, and whoever's going to walk into it is going to die. It was FNS. 5v4 now. Drone's going to see nothing in the bomb site. Ethan dies 5v3. Som dies 5v2. Don't want to call it unawareness. Maybe just a little bit of a communication error. But there were literally 0 people on the bomb site on the drone. Looks like the C retake is something that 100 Thieves want NRG to continue doing. So like I said at the start of this, NRG really looking good on this map. Definitely a comfort pick for them. It looks like after this round conversion with a couple ultimates online that this is going to be a 9-3-10-2 half. And then one man, one perm, one pig gets droned out into a double initiator reclear, kills someone stunned, gets a double kill, and it all falls apart. Complete momentum shift. Definitely a tilter for NRG. They're playing these situations right. They're playing together. They're doing the things they need to do. But this is just the state of the game, man. Cosmetic stuns. Cosmetic stuns. And 100 Thieves get a little life breathed back into their game. NRG with an excellent half, getting into attack here on an attack-sided map with an attack-sided comp. Looks like they're faking the insert towards A with FNS and the flash, probably trying to abuse a little bit of their own antis there, and they're going to regroup C, and expecting of probably the same thing. C is definitely a bomb site that's been being retaken a lot. Hunter Thieves proactivity, name of the game here, getting all this space. A is controlled, mid is controlled, garage is controlled, the only place it could be is C. Going a little fast there, Mata. Getting into the trip, no one able to break it for him there. He's going to fall. Saw him vulnerable, taking a 1v1 dead. All of this util at the choke. The flood bait doesn't work. They were trying to get those A rotates to where they could go C. And again, 7-2 at one point, now 8-5. It's getting a little tight here. I thought this was a really interesting anti-bonus play one from NRG here. They're going to start trying to get some information on where 100 Thieves are starting. A lobby was fought for a little bit here, so they're going to get ready to pump B, look for a first blood, look to break some utility here. Mata, in a different world, gets a double kill there on a spam, but half a second off. NRG are going to get ready to go clear this A line now. And when they're in this position, Mata's not going to be with them. He's going to sit and he's going to listen for rotates, trying to get some kills here. Is he the person who should be doing this? It's an option between him and the Sentinel mainly, but at the end of the day, he isn't following the utility here, and it's a part of the reason why this clear isn't going as smooth. Ethan gets chunked, does heal a little bit with the regen. And now they're really poised for an A hit here. 100 Thieves are very aware of the possibility of a bomb site. They're waiting for those rechargeables. They're expecting A, they're expecting C, and they're gravitating towards those bomb sites. Mata really hasn't heard anything, hasn't gotten a chance for the fight. They keep recycling the smoke on the gap. And now we kind of have this like Breach running in, following in his own utility, breaking his own dart situation. Mata's in B, but it's too late. There's 20 seconds left. The flood comes through on the double duelist comp that we're aware of. He falls, and Brock's left in a 3v1 with the bomb down backside in 8 seconds. He's going to have to save, and again, the momentum that NRG had is just completely gone. It's just fizzled away. Set play coming out towards C for 100 Thieves. Little spam combo, solo play, stun paranoia. NRG's getting ready to work into garage here. Brock is going to use util to break missiles, but no util is going to break. Ethan's kind of spamming the smoke, and Mata is angling out into the bomb side by himself. Another soul read type of round. That's 2 now on this half, where he's either getting caught off or not really having like a lot of impact in the scenario. FNS is going to catch Cryo. You don't hear that every day. 4v4 situation here. Drone is being used towards A, doesn't really see anything. And now look at the situation. Okay, look at the situation that Xander and Asuna are in right now. Xander is the quote-unquote C player in this situation because he killed the garage guy. They know Omen is towards C. He's going to show himself at bottom long. FNS is going to see him, and he is now going to leave because he has that inserted player in Asuna sitting there waiting, listening the entire time, probably going to go uncleared if they end up coming back towards C. So a really good bait setup there between them two. Got to remember to not overshow agents and overshow people when you're working a spread on defense. Xander's going to spot his garage. EU's going to get ready to kind of cheat over. And NRG are going to go into a bomb site full of Cypher utility. Now Boostio's been on this camera basically the entire round, so they don't know it's here. Sitting in heaven, getting ready to play off these trips. Still hasn't got off of it. Got to be careful here with the tail wall online. If they find out that he's heaven, he's probably going to die. There it is. EU's going to counter ult, trying to get a kill on a scaler. No tags. Xander is over the trip. Gets a kill onto Brock. Gets a second on the round. Austin FNS. FNS takes him. And now a double swing comes through. Xander kills them both. 1v2 situation for FNS. He's just going to get toyed with here. They don't even have to peek him. They can just keep jiggling him and scaring him. And Xander having an unreal day individually. Such a huge round right now, man. Elimination on the line. 5 versus 5 B post plant retake situation.
Benefit of having the Omen there.
Ethan has the breach ult online.
Push out on both the outside wings.
Flanks being pressured. They're boxed in. They're gonna have to push a link here. They've lost too much map control. Ethan's taking a step back, getting ready to rip it. The breach ult. Chill. Sitting and waiting for a sound cue. Still nothing. Mada's got that C-Link contact. Blind comes through. Blind traded. A-Link, nothing there with EU. Som gets the first. Mada in a really good spot, going between the wall. Gets a huge 2K. Trades out Cryo with a shield. 2v1 situation. Peek off me, peek off me. And EU's going to have to back up. There's no time. NRG are going to get the lead back. And a little momentum in their way. Great job using the ults. 10-9 here. We get the kills on the right people. We get the plants on the right people. We can get even more ultimates online. It can be really good. Fake A open happens here. Asuna playing the space by himself. FNS cages, cams, jump spots, sees nothing. And then what happens on the minimap here? Gets caught on the jump spot. Ends up dying by himself. Flank trips are down. 5v4 situation.
Just puts finesse down.
Still has the A line. The C stack still exists. He's going to shift positions just in case there was a short timing. Regrouping onto that line once again. Asuna. He's going to angle. Sees ahead. Sees 2 or 3. Freaking out in the comms here. You know how it goes in these videos. And Mada, who was supposed to be working this outlaw low and slow, has completely lost control of what he wanted to do in the round. He can't even angle it out properly anymore. They're going to call the bluff on the over-rotate here. Ballsy decision. They're going to go B and hope that it's gapped. Flank completely compromised. A, C, garage. Juggling. FNS is gun away. Drone sees nothing in the bomb site. Smoke up top for elevated scaling. Saving the paranoia. 5v4 situation on an eco round. Paranoia's trade. Planning again is Brock. 1-for-1 trade. Looking in the way of NRG, but the lineup for E with the Phantom. Again, another situation where 100 Thieves just flip the momentum right back in their way. It's so heartbreaking. Mid-round. Spam into garage, insta-kill Boostio. Knives out, running up C almost. Wish they took the route of the garage there. This took a little time. Rotate coming in. 5v4 situation against an ult. Counter util stops the flood. Who comes out of the garage smoke and gets 4? Xander will not be denied today. 11-11. Game on the line. Elimination on the line. Fast A control. Mada angling out, taking his time. Another spacing little error here. Not being able to use that utility to clear out the brick position. Has to face check it himself and dies. Cannot be losing the tip of the spear like that round after round after round.
So Thieves get to play with a straight up man.
Another 5v4 situation where NRG are just going to have to angle around and work the map and death ball into a situation again. Up, down, hold, short. EU spotting long here.
Accelerating in. There's
counter utility available, but it won't be perfect. Brock trying to flush out short here. Uses the missiles. Cryo gets timinged there, but Asuna slides up on Brock and kills him. Here he is, Xander. MVP. Here's that weak side we talked about. Look at Asuna. Just goes and runs away. If he dies, the round is completely jeopardized. Good discipline there. Xander with a reposition. FNS gets into the spawn corner here. 2v3. Ethan kind of on an island, not really working together. Both kind of like making their own play. FNS for 1. Needs 2. Doesn't get another. 12-11. And just like that, here we are. From 7-2 to 11-12. 12-11, here we go. FNS instantly trying to take space in short. Uses his camera, sees nothing. Gets vulnerable, gets peeked and cleared. Cryo, big first blood. Another trip Mada's going to run into here with another missed scaling smoke. Diving into that A-Link there, trying to follow the utility. EU trying to counter with the Hunter's Fury. Gets a ping there. Now planning for A-Link with the full control of this area. Ethan's gonna rip the ult again, pushing him back all the way into sight, and they don't even chase. Sam on an island here, dodges the ISO ult, Brock's in it now, does a great job of breaking the shield, but unable to convert the gunfight, 20 HP difference there. Sam unable to hold the bomb site in the meantime, 3v5. Bomb is tapped, trying to spam. Mata's gone for a huge re-wrap here. Everybody's got to throw their life away trying to stop the bomb defusal for that to come through. It actually looks like if the space egg was a little worse, he could have had it there, but NRG are going to fall. So when you look at the match page here, it's almost like they're selling you a blowout. You know, everybody on NRG negative, no one with a 1 or higher rating. But at the end of the day, the fragging was the big difference maker here. This was close. I don't think this was like a blowout by any means. This definitely was like a close match. 100 Thieves just converted all of the rounds they needed to. 4 clutches to 2. They were also in a position where they won 3 of the pistols to NRG's 1. And they had 3 thrifty wins to NRG's 1. So definitely things that help you win games like this. The running kind of joke right now is that Xander hasn't gone positive in a series in group stage. And he goes up against 100 Thieves today, and he has a 2.0 rating with 200 ADR on smokes plus 35. That's an unreal performance. If you're dumb enough to think that Xander isn't a good player and he's not capable of doing this, I guess this was like a wake-up call for you. There's a reason he got called up without hesitation, and his spot wasn't really fought over. It was kind of just like a shoe-in for him. Obviously, the connection to Asuna helps there, but it's no testament to the guy's skill. He's an absolute beast, and he has a really good just approach to the game. His mechanical ability and the way that he can read and talk to his teammates. 100 Thieves really looking good here. This is what I was talking about in my last video of what a map pick needs to look like for you. Again, yes, it was a 28-7 Brimstone moment, but at the end of the day, I see 3 people on this team who can do something like this. You know, I've seen this guy do it on Neon, I've seen this guy do it on Chamber, and I've now seen this guy do it on Brimstone. And then again, you know, EU and Boosty are no exception to that. They can do it as well, just a little less often on their roles with the team they're playing. But again, NRG have a bright future. They didn't have as much time as other teams did in this. Unfairly, I think that they need to be realistic with their expectations, and them making Toronto was a stretch to begin with, let alone doing good there. So I think it's actually a better thing that they didn't make it to the tournament, and that they can really work on their craft and get better as a team, build their system, refine it overall, and really bounce back and, you know, show people why they are who they are with the reputations that they have. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you guys join up in Discord for Valorant coaching, Valorant talk, all that good stuff. Make sure you follow along with my stream. I'm live almost every day, whether I'm playing ranked, doing watch parties, this, that, the other. And obviously all the socials down below. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the continued support. I read every comment. Make sure to leave one down below. I'm out of here. Deuces.